So the insanity of the world right now, man. Like check this shit out. I'm driving on the freeway talking to a realtor. My phone cuts out 3 times and just hangs up. Then I call him back, and each time I hung up my phone, or I hung up itself, I looked at my phone like, what the fuck? Because it was crazy traffic, so I wasn't, being completely distracted driving. It's like, cannot connect to a cellular network. I'm like, what the fuck is that about? So then I walk in the door, and my Garmin watch completely dies. I charged it to 100% yesterday. It's a solar watch. It usually takes, a 2-week time frame, depending on how much I use it, to go dead. It's fucking dead. I plugged it in, and it's like, yeah, it's at 0%. What the fuck? There was an alien concept, something going on that the aliens are going to start affecting the GPS system. Then my bedside clock, when I went to get my cord to plug my phone in while we did the show, it was back to midnight. And guess what, boys and girls? The power did not go out.
And what did I say when you told me all this?
Aliens, man. Aliens are coming.
And then I look over, and we get to say whatever we want our name to be on the podcast to each other, and his is aliens have arrived. I did not see that before I made that statement, and literally I looked to the left, and there it was, and I just had to laugh.
Fucking aliens. The aliens have something, dude. It's the weirdest fucking thing.
Well, it's no different than when we have a glitch here. Sometimes we'll do a 2.5-hour podcast, and everything runs swimmingly, and then we can't make it 50 minutes into one.
Yeah.
Ghosts in the machine.
Right. And when I restarted, and then when I first did it, it said you have no internet connection, but I have internet connection. And then it wouldn't let me click the button saying I'm using headphones, so I had to restart again. It's like, like, stop fucking with us, aliens. I'm like, come here, hang out, chill, get some tacos, let's all just live harmonious, in harmony and shit, Fox and Fox Mulder's a fictitious character. He's not really out there trying to find you, man.
He wants to believe.
Right, and see, there comes an alien. Women are aliens because they carry the babies. It's like marsupial, It's a marsupial pack, and they put stuff inside there,
And there's definitely no question that they think differently than we do. So
right, that's why that book, Men Are From Venus and Women Are From Mars, or whatever the fuck, Women Are From Venus. Is that what it was? Venus and Mars?
Men are from Mars, women are from Mars.
Venus. Women's are from Venus. You know why? The V. Get it? Get it?
Yes.
Get it?
Yes.
Yeah. That's the marsupial package, man. Think about it. Who can carry a life form inside their own life form?
Another famous Ray Stone quote, makes the world go round.
Wait a minute. She said something. What did you say? I said the female on every species. The female on every species, Nikki said, can carry a human inside of them.
Well, not a human, but just...
A life force. A life force can be carried by every female species.
That is almost universally true, yes.
Yeah. Because I saw this thing the other day, like 6. I don't remember the number. Like 6.83 billion babies have been born in the world, and not one of them was by a man. So shut the fuck up when it comes to women's rights. I'm like, oh, that's a really valid point.
You can ask to be called whatever you want. I'm fine with that, but you cannot deny how you came to this world.
Correctamundo,
right?
As Fonzie would say. Hey.
If you came with an innie, you're a woman. If you came with an Audi, you're a boy. That's just the way it works, right?
You're talking belly buttons, right?
No, I was trying to be super politically correct. If you got a dick, you're a dude. If you got a vagina, you're a woman. There you go.
I prefer dingling on the podcast because, I use the C word when I reference the dingling, but that's not appropriate here at all. And penis I think is more politically acceptable than dick because you could be Richard. Your name could be Richard, and then you call Richard Dick in a way that's very condescending.
I'm one of those people that is being super sarcastic when I say I'm being politically correct.
I know.
Though. You know.
I know. Oh, I know. But I still had to go down the rabbit hole, man. I still had to go there.
I appreciate you playing along.
Yeah. It's what I do, man. It's what I do. Yes.
Did you see the free kick they did in the game last night?
Yes. The first one went out of bounds, and then the second one. Wait. Free kick? Or you? I don't know.
The one at halftime where there was
a
penalty on the fair catch, and then Harbaugh. It moved them close enough to where there's a rule that says if there's a penalty on the fair catch, they can take the yardage and accept what they called a free kick, which was basically a field goal with no time on the clock.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah. So in his press conference, Jim said he's been trying to do that for a long time. And I think they tried it in the 49ers game and was unsuccessful. This was the first time it was successful since I think they said 76.
And he actually free kicked a field goal?
Yeah.
Like drop foot kick, like a punt, or just lined up and kicked it?
No, it's a weird formation. They still have a guy, holding the ball just like a field goal.
Yeah.
But they only have so many men in the formation on the front. It was really weird. Nobody really knew what was happening, and I didn't understand it until right before we got on the air here. And I read some of the comments, and one guy obviously knew what he was talking about because he explained it step by step, and I just butchered it and paraphrased it. But basically that's what it is if there's a penalty by the receiving team on the fair catch, you can accept that yardage, and then you can do what they call a free kick. And it only happens if there's no time on the clock and there's a penalty on the fair catch by the receiving team. I just thought it was cool. It hadn't been done in like 40 years.
That's interesting. We found a new running group that's only like 12 minutes from us, and they do Tuesday, Thursdays, and Saturdays. So we actually went Tuesdays and Thursday this week. So I didn't catch the game until about 5 minutes left.
It was a good game, other than I bet on the wrong team, but that doesn't mean it wasn't a good game.
Yeah, the rapid highlights, like wow, like they were. It was lopsided, and then it was lopsided the other way. And
yes,
and that was a huge win. What was it, the Chargers?
Yes,
and the Broncos. That's a huge win for the Chargers, right? Doesn't
Absolutely.
that propel them? Doesn't that make them first place, and now they're first place overall because they beat the Broncos?
I believe so. I can't say 100%, but yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, I didn't look at the my fantasy football. Like, I'm in the playoffs, so I won my first playoff game, and then this week we don't have a playoff game. It's really weird, and then we resume next week. I think it's because the loser bracket plays this weekend, which I don't know because I've never been in the playoffs. This is like the first year I've actually ever paid attention to this yet.
And I've never done so. All the fantasy football people are screaming at us right now, but I've never done it. I can tell you how to gamble for real, but
the blasphemy, man! I don't gamble. It's free. It's absolutely free. That's I would never, like, the last time, and I still need to download the app and sign up. The last time I legitimately ever bet on football had to be. I didn't even bet on the Giants in the Super Bowls, like none of that shit. Like realistically, every week doing something was a football pool when I worked at the Mark Center. We could pick the games, like when just win or lose straight up. I was really good at that shit. I could pick back then. I could run 10 wins a week, and
I think doing it the way that I'm doing it, I think you would be pretty successful too, because you're literally picking winners and losers, and you're looking. That's what I'm going back and looking at. I hit a big bet in the Monday night game, I believe.
Yeah. Good for you, Jack.
No, it was
bad for you, Jack.
Oh yeah, obviously the Vikings took care of the Bears. So that was one of those situations where nothing's guaranteed, but that was a situation where if you're going to bet a lot of money, the Bears have been they're 0-8 since the Hail Mary incident.
I know, right?
So,
like, talk about a game, a defining play for the season. I mean, how badly were they deflated mentally with that 30 seconds of a football season to be 0-8 cents?
Pretty deflated. I got nothing, man. It's pretty deflated.
That's what I'm saying.
I think my silence was everything.
Right, and I think a big part of that's got to be the coaching, right? Because you got to be able to get the people out of that fucking rut, man.
The only defense I'm gonna give to Caleb Williams, because he takes a lot of shit and he deserves a lot of shit. You got Jalen Daniels, who's tearing it up, probably should have been a higher pick. Bo Nix obviously should have been the first-round pick, in my opinion, just based on what I saw of all three of them playing. Caleb had a great junior year. He had a so-so senior year. That's just
Yeah, but he was also the asshole that says, "Oh, I want part ownership in the team that drafts me because I'm the next coming of Jesus Christ." Well, guess
And
what?
you said
not.
it a few podcasts back. You're right. That puts an immense amount of pressure on you in an already overwhelming
pressure.
situation. You have no idea how fast that game is until you get there and you see these guys and you're like, oh my God.
Yep.
And I think that's what he encountered right away. Mm-hmm. Where those other two obviously knew what they were getting into, right?
Right.
Because they're performing at a level that's way higher than what they should.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like Mr. Irrelevant, right? Brock, when he got drafted, and then when he came in, and the reason why he retained the starting job is because, like, legit, he didn't have any. There was no gap with him, and I think that's extremely rare that you come from college to the pros, and you don't miss a step. It's like you're just accustomed to it. I saw a thing today on Instagram regarding Purdy, mind you. He gave his entire offensive lineman all brand new 2024 Toyota Tundra crew cab pickup trucks. That's fucking pretty cool, man. Oh, yeah. I remember back when we were growing up, like fucking, quarterbacks would, like Dan Phelps gave all his linemen, gold Rolex watches, I thought that was cool. Mahomes did that. Mahomes did a Yeti cooler, a $6,000 Rolex, those compression legs that you wear we've done them after long races, running races, where they compress your legs. You kind of get into them like a pair of pants. You just lay there for 20 minutes and it.
Oh, yeah.
That's my Darth Vader thing. And a couple other things. And I was like, that doesn't really seem like, come on, Mahomes, a $6,000 Rolex, you can fucking do better than that. Like, rip that shit off $25K a pop. Because he writes it off. It's a gift.
Well, he's writing it off, and he's probably making $6,000 a minute just in interest,
Do you want to go down his contract?
No.
Because how I like dissecting contracts.
Do you know what he makes? And we have a reel about it. You can go to Instagram. He makes what we like to call a fuck ton of money.
A fuck ton of money. Yeah. Well, he made enough money when they signed him to his long-term deal that he bought part ownership of the Kansas City Royals. So that should tell you something.
That's right. I do remember that.
That should tell you something. I think his end game is he'll leave football and he'll go be a managed player like Pete Rose, and he'll get caught on the game for gambling. He'll be banished for life. And then all his NFL accolades will be stripped from him like OJ's were. And, he'll live out the rest of his life in mediocrity in a van down by the river. Just saying. Selling shoes, Al Bundy style. I have 6 rings, man. There was a time. Yeah, and then you bet on baseball, fucker.
I'll be the other side. I'll say that he's going to go down as a person who changed the way people play football, and he figured it out better than anyone else, and the game will be different because of him. It already is. Yeah. It already is because of him and Josh Allen.
Yeah, they both kind of changed. It's kind of like how Lawrence Taylor changed how you played defense, right? Because that was one man on defense that could completely change the outcome of a game by himself, and that's what you see Mahomes and Allen doing.
Dick Butkus was another one.
Right. Yep.
You had, an entire offense had to plan for both of those guys.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I've grown up a Giants fan. You still see highlights every now and then of one of the games he came in the second half against the Saints, and they were getting their asses kicked, and he single-handedly won the game just with 5 or 6 plays. That was it.
Oh, yeah.
That was all it took. It's just a game changer, legend, just absolute legend.
Some guys just play at a level that is unprecedented at whatever they're doing.
Yeah. Yeah. Phil Simms' record still stands. I saw this the other day, 37 years and counting. He has the highest completion in the Super Bowl ever, and it was 22 for 25, so it's not like he was just throwing 10 passes. 22-25, 322 yards, I think, with 3 touchdowns, 88% completion percentage, and a quarterback rating of that was still one of the top things too. 150, I want to say, not 158, but somewhere high. Like, holy shit, 37 years later, that still stands.
Here's one you'll appreciate.
Okay.
Since we're on the football rabbit hole.
Football rabbit hole.
You know that Kirk Cousins got benched, right?
I do. Motherfucker's got bank, man.
Okay, it says if the Falcons benching is the end of Kirk Cousins' career, he will end with one playoff win in 13 years and a career earning of $321 million. It says put this man's agent in the Hall of Fame.
Right? That's what when I saw that when they benched him, I was like, and his money's guaranteed in Atlanta too. So he had Vikings was guaranteed and Atlanta was guaranteed. And when I saw that, I'm like, dude, who's his agent? Like, sign me up. Like,
I have no idea, but I agree with that bottom sentence where it says put his agent in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And good for him. His family's set for life. So
right. And Kyler Murray's agent. Put Kyler Murray's agent because everybody was all hot and bothered about the Cardinals here in Arizona, when they were winning, and now they suck again, and everybody's like, oh, you can't. He's 5'10". Kyler Murray's 5'10", boys and girls. He's 5'10". He's a child in a 7-foot world of average lineman players. Like, he's not going to be successful on the long term. I'm sorry. He's just
those
not.
guys are almost all above 6'5".
Right.
They're like 6'7", 6'6".
Right. He
325 pounds, and they do like
not
a 4.7 40.
Right, if not more. Now, Kyler Murray would be a good halfback because he's short and he's fast.
I wonder why they never tried that.
Because they paid him too much money. The Arizona wanted to franchise him as their long-term quarterback, which, okay. It's kind of like the shorter quarterbacks, and think about it. Drew Brees was one. Russell Wilson was one. Drew Brees had a really good run. He took the Saints to the Super Bowl and won it. So did Russell Wilson in Seattle. But aside from those two examples, I mean, who else is under 6 feet tall that's played quarterback in the NFL that's had success?
Not very many. You're right.
Yeah, I just don't because it's such a fast, it's such a height driven game. Because on TV we all think they're like 6 feet tall. Oh, and then you find out that Drew Brees is 5'11". Like, fuck, Drew Brees and I are the same height.
Well, it's like my dad always says about the running quarterbacks. It's the same way. You only have limited success because as soon as the team figures out that that's your MO, you're done.
Yep.
You have to be a good passer too.
Yeah. I went to the Patriots Cardinals game because my buddy Jason St. Louis, he put a post up and he's like, hey, who wants to go to the game? I was like, dude, I'll go with you. So we went, and it was him and his wife and one of his buddies from college is a Patriots fan. And Kyler Murray, the last time I was at a Cardinals game was when the Cardinals played the Steelers, and it was a Steelers home game in Arizona. Okay. Kyler Murray's gotten better. Like, I'll give him that. Like, he's legit gotten better. He's more aware of what's going on around him. He's more aware of situational play. He still does some stupid shit. There was a play that he did where they called roughing the passer. Well, motherfucker ran out of the pocket, was running to the point where he was almost over the line of scrimmage, and then did a little dink-dunk pass that got picked off. But then the refs threw these roughing the passer. Fuck you. It was shoulder to shoulder, no head-to-head. He was out of the pocket. You give up as a quarterback when you're out of the pocket. As long as you don't lead head-to-head headshot and shit,
those drive me crazy, man.
No,
that's why I was asking you about that guy that got fined. It's like, sometimes how would you stop as a defender when you've committed your body? Sometimes physics takes over is what I'm saying.
Oh,
right?
yeah. Yep. So, the quarterback height, okay? I typed in the Google machine. Quarterbacks under 6 feet tall in the NFL. There's 10 ever, okay?
Oh, in the history of the NFL?
In the history of the NFL. Okay. Lynn Dawson was 6 feet tall. Joe Theismann, 6 feet tall. Fran Tarkenton, 6 feet tall. Billy Kilmer, 6 feet tall. Michael Vick, woof. See what I did there? Woof. 6 feet tall. Drew Brees, 6 feet tall. Sonny Jurgensen, 5'11". Russell Wilson, 5'11". And then these two, Doug Flutie and Kyler Murray, both 5'10". Doug Flutie had massive success in the CFL.
I should have remembered Doug Flutie.
Right? He had massive success in the Canadian Football League. Like, he's a legend over there.
Yeah.
But here he just couldn't get over the hump. He had some success and stuff like that. He's popular here because, the Bills era and that kind of thing. But I don't know. Theismann won a Super Bowl, but his career ended when Lawrence Taylor decided to break his leg.
That was awful.
That was, right? That's, Lynn Dawson was the MVP of Super Bowl 4. So he won a Super Bowl. I just want to see how many he's won a Super Bowl. I don't know if Fran Tarkenton did. I know he played on the Giants for a while and then the Vikings. Or no, just the Vikings.
Glenn Dawson, was that Steelers?
Len
Or-
Dawson.
Doesn't
Cardinals.
say.
No, not Cardinals.
Cardinals?
Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh, okay.
So
The
he
name
must-
sounded familiar. I couldn't have told you who he played
Kansas
for,
City
obviously.
Chiefs. Vic never won a Super Bowl. Murray never won a Super Bowl. Neither did Flutie. Breeze and Wilson both won one. Billy Kilmer, I have no idea who this dude. He was 1957 43rd overall draft. He played behind Fran Tarkenton. He was on the
think that
Niners, the
definitely-
Saints, and Redskins.
I think that definitely proves your point that there's only been 10 in the history of the NFL, and of those 10,
7. Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. 10. Yeah, you're right. 10. 10, and only 1,
what,
2.
3?
Yeah, 1, 2, 3 won Super Bowls.
There you have it.
1, 2. Yeah, 1, 2,
That's-
3. Right. Or 4. I'm
Anybody, if
sorry.
you're-
4. 4 out of 10 short quarterbacks won Super Bowls.
If you're 6 foot tall or shorter, your chances are very slim.
Yep. Average size of linemen in 2024 NFL. Just to be curious, the average size of an offensive lineman
6'5".
76.75 inches. Why do they got to do it that way? Which is 6 feet 8, right? And includes the weight of 314 pounds in average. However, offensive defensive linemen are basically 6'1". Can be as far as 6'8".
So I was pretty close on the weight. I was way off on the height.
Yeah, that's just the average, though. You know what I mean?
6'8"?
Yeah.
That means some of those guys are pushing 7 foot tall.
Lineman.
Well, I think
I'm changing the.
I think Micah Parsons is 6'10", 6'11".
Why do they do it in fucking inches, man? In feet? Come on, in feet.
To make us
fuckers.
do math.
I don't want to do math. It's still not doing it. Oh, yeah. The average NFL linemen are typically at least 6'1", can be as tall as 6'8". It still go back to inches, so I don't fucking know. They're just tall.
A lot taller than they used to be.
Yeah. The smallest NFL lineman ever was a Cowboys rookie, Deuce Vaughn. Shortest player over 90 years, stands 5 feet 5 inches tall. That's a lineman, 5 feet 5 inches tall.
That's like my mom's height.
Right? Oh, this is kind of cool. Average height of the NFL player based on positions. Let's see where this takes us. If it wants to go there, because it's just spinning. So while that's spinning, did you have any screenshots you want to talk about?
Oh, I'll tell you what. Have you ever seen the photo from World War II of the sailor kissing the... It's
Yes.
an iconic photo.
Yep. Man, we talked about that before. It was the whole woke and, sexual harassment bullshit because she wasn't wanting to be kissed and da-da-da-da-da. Remember? We had a whole show on that. Not a whole show, but
Yeah.
we'd gone to San Diego, and we had talked about that when we got back.
So it said it took over 20 years for that woman to know that
Yeah.
photo ever existed. But what this says is there's no good shot of either of their faces, and many people have claimed to have been the two people in that photo over all these years.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
It says the two people in the photo were complete strangers and the woman
Right.
did not give her consent, right?
Right, right.
That's the famous story.
Yeah.
But it says over the years, there's been many people who have come forward that have claimed to be those two people. That's why I saved that.
Interesting. Yeah, because when we Googled that day we were talking about it, they have, they claim anyway, what we read was the people that were there, admitted to it were, years later type thing. Oh, that's us.
Here's a good one sticking with sports.
Okay.
Ray Caldwell. He was an Indians pitcher from 1919 to 1921.
Cleveland?
Yes, I believe so. I think they've always been in Cleveland.
I know they're a fucking stupid name now called the Guardians, so I just wanted to reinfact the fact it's the
Thank you.
motherfucking
Yes.
Indians
I see
of
where you're
America.
going with that now.
Right.
His claim to fame is he was struck by lightning in the ninth inning of an Indians debut on 8/24 of 1919. He finished the game after being revived, by the way.
Right on.
Then he went on to pitch a no-hitter at New York 17 days later.
See, boys and girls, that's the definition of toughness. Oh, I can't go in, coach. I have a contusion on my inner thigh. Really?
This guy got struck by lightning. He was resuscitated on the mound and got up and finished the game.
And then threw a no-hitter. What, 6 days later?
17 days later.
17 days later. And you have a bruised thumb and you can't throw the football.
Oh,
for
it gets
6
better.
weeks. Yeah.
The next year, he went on to win 20 games for the world champion. There was no World Series at the time, but they were the world champion Indians. So his life just got better from the moment he got revived. The moral of the story is, if you can do it, get struck by lightning, survive, and apparently your life is improved.
Your life is so much better.
I thought that was hilarious. It's like, wow, this guy's life just kept getting better after he got struck by lightning.
I knew there was a family I grew up with that the father, the kid's name was Truett Black, and I just remember that because it's such a cool name.
That's a great name,
right? His dad got struck by lightning while pulling a bone in off one like Roosevelt Lake or something, and died from it. He's helping somebody or something, which was cool, but still died. So the odds of living. I mean, a lot of people live when they get struck by lightning, though, I think. But some people do die. It just depends.
I don't recommend it.
I don't either. And I've never been struck by lightning, but it's not something that I have on my bucket list to do,
Here's a story that you'll appreciate.
Okay.
That you will appreciate that most people would not appreciate because it's kind of a dick move, but I laugh so hard.
Okay.
Do you know who Zach Greinke is? He plays for the Kansas City Royals.
Yes.
Okay. It says, right before I took this picture, Greinke acted like he was about to sign my ball. He came over, grabbed the ball, and looked at me, and then he chucked it as far as he could. I asked him why he did that, and he said, for my amusement. He's the weirdest player I've ever met. It's a true story from a guy who posted it on the site.
Wow.
He just took the ball out of the guy's hand and fucking threw it as far as he could.
I'd like to see the guy's look on his face. Like, you know what I mean?
It would be like Sean Penn in Fast Times at Ridgemont High. You dick. Right? Oh, my God, I'm crying.
That's funny.
That's why I saved it. I laughed that hard when I read it the first time. I mean, it's a dick move. There's no question, and I would be pissed too. But this guy laughed about it. I mean, he's not mad. He's got a laughy face all over.
Well, you have to,
thing.
because what are you going to do?
Oh, I thought that was a good one.
So I posted the thing on the Facebook page last night, Tropic Thunder. I'm going to fuck you up scene.
Yes, okay. I watched it again.
So true story. The first time I watched Tropic Thunder, I had no fucking idea that was Tom Cruise till the end credits rolled. Like, I had no clue. It did not.
I don't think any of us did. I didn't either.
I'm sure somebody picked it up because he had to be, but I legit. It was on. It was Nikki went to bed and I put it on, and I was watching it a couple days ago. Nikki hates the movie, so I put it back on, and it just got to the part where Tug Spedman, his agent, shows up at his office, at Les Grossman's office. Like, where's fucking TiVo for my client, man? But just that whole thing, and it's only a 40-second clip, but the whole scene's like 4 minutes. It's just, it's funny as hell. It's just, there's so many little funny bits in that. Like, you remember in the beginning when they blow up the tree line and they fuck all that scene up.
Yes.
And then Les is on the big jumbo screen, and he's like, "Where's the gaffer? Where's the gaffer?" And the guy's like, "I'm the gaffer." He's like, "You, right there, punch that motherfucker square in the nose. Just fucking punch him in the nose." And he walks up to the director's like, "Sorry, dude." Pop, and he's like,
"Sorry, dude."
And he's fucking just fucking sitting there bleeding, like, oh. Just so many little funny things in that, If
I'm gonna have to go back and watch that again too now.
If they would have taken away the whole Simple Jack bullshit in the heroin camp, it would have been a better movie. That whole scenario just to me was just the stupidest fucking thing to put in there.
I agree with you.
You know, and then it's funny when Robert Downey Jr.'s character is telling Ben Stiller's character, man, you don't go full retard. You know, he's going over like Dustin Hoffman, Rain Man. You know, looks it, feels it, acts like it, not a retard. Autistic maybe? Yeah. You know. Forrest Gump, looks retarded, not retarded. Runs fast, plays ping pong. You know, just a little bit off. You know, it's just, you don't never go full retard, man. You just never go full retard. Didn't anybody tell you that? Just little bits. Movies like that, they have little funny bits, man. It carries the movie. Nothing like Quentin Tarantino flicks though that just are, you know, you turn them on and they're over. Like what the fuck? Where'd the time go? You know, but that's
what you call well written.
Oh yeah, and just continually popping and moving and changing, and you know, you can't get bored. You can't go, oh, you know, attention span. But yeah, that was good. It was really good. It was a funny movie. Funny. What else you got?
This is kind of gross, but I guess it's a true story. Okay. I don't even know where it's at, but there's a town called Pana, Illinois.
Okay.
There's a home that was so infested with cockroaches that the city council decided that the best option was to burn the house down. They literally put a ring of fire to prevent the cockroaches from escaping and moving to adjacent houses.
They still got out.
Of course they did.
Yeah, because they just burrow underground, man.
They're
cockroaches will survive the nuclear holocaust whenever that happens.
Do you eat Smarties candies?
No, I used to when I was a kid.
They were originally made with the machines built to make gunpowder pellets for ammunition during World War II. True story.
Interesting. Little chalky residue there.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe. Just a little bit. Interesting.
An actual news article from December of 2000. The internet may just be a passing fad as millions give up on it.
When was that?
December 2nd of 2000.
I wonder how that worked. That's a guy that you want to take your stock tips from.
You know what, though? The little bit of the article, we lived it. So to kids today, they're like, oh, man, you guys really were out of touch. But if you remember, in 2000, the article goes on to say in the first couple paragraphs, basically, that it didn't offer anything. And if you remember, you could not sit down and watch YouTube videos. You couldn't buy shit off Amazon. You could buy shit off Amazon, but it was mostly like books and
Walden
it wasn't the Amazon that kids know today or even young adults know today. The internet was really kind of useless, and it also further went on to say it was super expensive for what you got for it. You know, it was basically email and a few web news sites. You know, like there was Netscape News and there was Microsoft News, MSN or whatever.
Yeah.
But that was it. That's what the internet had to offer. You couldn't sit down and do a podcast like this.
Yeah, the first time I ever jumped on, I was in college, and it was AOL obviously, and the whole thing was you get in a chat room, like you find chat rooms, and so the chat rooms I would go into related to writing because at the time I was going to school for journalism.
Me too.
So
I'd get into music ones, guitar guys, or
and that's all it was. They were just chat rooms, nothing else. There was nothing else but that. And then you waited 15 minutes to get on, you know, because we are wine. And then all of a sudden, ooh, you have mail. And you're excited because you had mail. Like, holy shit, I have mail. And then you realize, oh, I don't know that person. It's spam. Which spam wasn't a word then. That was a food. How did that happen? How did the spam food go from spam the food to spam mail?
Because everybody hates spam except a select few people that have weird, I don't want to call them crazy or another bad word. We'll just say they have weird palates.
Because there's most spam lovers, I think, are Samoan or descendants thereof, so they would pummel us.
I've met them, man. Trust me. I've met a couple of people who are like, "Ooh, I like that," fried spam or whatever. No.
Yeah. What about green eggs and ham? Did you ever eat that when you were a kid?
No.
You didn't?
Green eggs?
And ham, yeah. Food coloring, dude. Like I remember that in elementary school. Like we had green eggs
my
and ham.
eggs. I don't know. My mom's probably going, of course you did. You know,
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah, she's gonna smack you in the head when you go over there tomorrow.
Well, she'll be like you were 3 or 5 or something.
Well, just Mama Kay make him some green eggs for breakfast Sunday with the cinnamon rolls. Just do
I'm
it.
gonna keep making the joke. I
Do it.
got hit in the head with a baseball bat, but it's a true story, so I don't remember some things.
Okay. And were you a catcher at the time? Because when I was a catcher for many baseball teams, every now and then the backswing, when they would swing through the ball and miss it, then the back, when they would bring the bat behind their back.
Oh, that
after
happened
swing,
too.
It's like,
Yeah.
dude. Well, I'd look like, dude, really?
I didn't tell you that story about my friend that just hauled off and smacked me in the head with a fucking baseball bat?
No, let's go down memory lane, Mike, and let's talk about how you got hit in the head with a baseball bat.
I had to have been less than 10 because that's when we
Okay.
moved to our new house. So
Okay.
I don't know. I was 7, 8, 9.
Yeah.
Who knows? 10. Standing out on the patio of my friend's house, and his cousin was with him, and his cousin swinging this bat around, and his aunt told him to stop. It's like, stop swinging the bat so close to Mike, you know?
Right.
And this dumb fucker, instead of stopping and swinging the bat, he decided it would be good to like haul off and take a full swing instead of like, you know, just kind of. He was swinging it out in front of him, you know, like 3/4 swing.
Yeah.
He just hauled off and did a full swing, and he smacked me right in the side of the fucking head and knocked me out.
Wow.
Like scared his aunt so bad, or my buddy's mom, obviously, so bad that she came running out of the house. She was a surgical nurse, thankfully.
Oh. Yeah.
And just knocked me out. I mean,
Yeah.
it
You-
killed
and
me,
you
or
don't
I wouldn't
remember
be
you-
sitting here talking to you.
You don't remember aside from just him swinging the bat and then all of a sudden blackness?
That's it. Oh, no, I went down like a sack of potatoes, man.
Sack of potatoes. How long did it take you to wake up? You have any idea?
No idea. I was in the kitchen the next thing I remembered.
That's crazy, man.
I was small enough she could pick me up, and she took me in the house, you know, make sure I was okay. But
So what happened to the dude that hit you with the bat? Prison? Jail time? Juvie?
he's dead now.
Oh.
He
Karma.
had,
Karma?
I don't wish ill will on anybody, but
No.
you know, he got into bad shit at a too young of an age. That's why I don't recommend it. You know,
Yeah.
I'm not going to say anybody should do drugs, but you definitely shouldn't do them when your mind's not developed yet, because he's a living example of you're not ready for that. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a drag.
Even drugs that won't hurt you can be harmful when your brain's not developed.
Oh, yeah.
That's all I'll say about that. He's a living example in my mind of what that will do to you if you start at too young of an age.
Oh, gotcha.
So when they say you can fry your brain and that kind of thing, I think that's basically one time you can, because until you're 25, your brain's not fully developed. That's when your frontal cortex is done, and you can, what the scientific community would say, make rational decisions as an adult as we know it in this society, right? That's what they've determined. It takes 25 years.
Okay. So what's our excuse?
I think we chose to never grow up, and that's an awesome choice to make as well.
Something, right?
You know, you have to have some kind of goal, you know,
Yeah.
mind expanding. I don't ever want to be married to any of my ideas, be open-minded. You know, you can't be gullible.
No.
You can't just believe everything at face value. I definitely don't do that. I'm probably the polar opposite. I think everything's bullshit until I prove it otherwise. Right?
Right. Are you ready for the silly season? Did you get all your Christmas shopping done? It is. By the time this airs, this will be after Christmas, but you know.
My Christmas shopping's easy, man. I just give everybody money, and we only buy gifts for the kids. So
There you
we
go.
do a white elephant for the adults,
Oh, right on.
but we decided a long time ago Christmas is for the kids. It takes a lot less, takes pressure off everybody if you don't have to buy gifts for 27 people. You know,
Agreed. Well, we don't have 20s, but yeah, I get that. We went to our friends the same day that for boys and girls that are on TikTok, go to TikTok and type search gingerbread 5K or gingerbread 5K cyclist. You'll see this thing that's going on that I played Santa Claus for the little kids, and while we were giving instruction, the race director was giving instruction for the runners to start, to do the 1 mile fun run. This guy on a bicycle that obviously was wearing the cyclist garb, road cyclist, right? He comes up, mouths off, and then proceeds just to kind of ride his bike through the crowd of people. Total dick.
That was so crazy, man.
Such a dick, right? And it's posted. He pays for the events. They're there once a month, year round. But then later that night, we went to our friend's annual Christmas party, it's an ugly sweater, and I think probably 6th or 7th year. But she's nuts about Christmas. She starts decorating in July. She's just insane. So I wear the Santa suit in. So we do a big photo with all the adults, and then it ends up being just a white elephant exchange. This year wasn't as it was fun, but it wasn't as fun and funny as years past. We thought really hard. We were looking at shit in October. Oh, this would be perfect. So we got this ornament. I think I showed him on the episode with Dean, the testicle ornament, the balls.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And then Nikki got this thing that it's something festive titties, but it's titties instead of festivities. It's festive titties. And then we had urinal shot glasses.
That's awesome.
So years past, those things would have killed. But because everybody's kind of got to the point to where everything's all these innuendos and it's all borderline sexually inappropriate, it just kind of yeah. I got the book, the cookbook called The Goon. Kid you not, Goon with the Spoon. It's Snoop Dogg's cookbook.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. I forgot what Nikki got.
So, do you remember?
No, I don't.
2 years in a row.
Yeah.
I have a friend that has a gift shop.
Okay.
And the outside of it looked like a brown paper bag, only it was white. And it said sack of shit on the front.
Okay. That's awesome.
But the inside was full of actual cooking spices. That's what made me think of it when you said that. It was like chicken shit, beef shit, but it was for, legitimate grilling. That's what they were for. But the funny part of it is I couldn't have planned this if I tried, but my brother got that 2 years in a row.
No shit.
Yes. The first year I had her mom wrap it like it came from fucking Nordstrom's or Macy's or
right on.
Von Maur or, some high-end store. It was beautiful. She did an awesome. So everybody wanted that gift.
Yeah.
My brother stole it twice, I think.
That's funny.
And then the very next year, he got the same thing. He's like, funny. Oh, look, I got the sack of shit again.
And everybody wanted the sack of shit? Then you
would have never...
Present, right? Or do you wait till everybody has something, then open it?
The first year we waited till everybody had something and then opened it. That's how he ended up with it, because he stole it twice. That's why I know. So I understand why you asked that question.
That's a cool spin, though. So you just you grab a present and then wait till everybody has a present.
Yep.
And then everybody opens, and then you kind of presents on display. You show what you have, and then that's when the stealing starts.
Yes, that's how we do it now, because that speeds things up.
That's cool.
Otherwise, everybody would do what I did, and they would try and have the best presentation possible, right?
Yeah.
Okay. The only person that did it better is my nephew had a girlfriend at the time, and she wrapped up a brick, but underneath it had like a $25 or $30 gift card.
Oh, right on.
So it was this heavy-ass, beautiful wrapping job, but, everybody was like, what the hell is it?
Yeah.
And then you open it up, it's a fucking brick.
That's a good. I'm going to throw that idea at Jessica and Ian for next year to do it to where everybody gets a present, and then you just do what looks better, and then you open it after everybody. That's a better idea to it. That's a better approach to it, I think.
I actually just listened to a podcast where the guy was saying that's how his family does Christmas. Everybody buys one big gift.
Okay.
And they actually do their family Christmas like a white elephant, only it's the actual gifts, right?
Okay.
So everybody throughout the year says, I would like this, that, the other, whatever.
Yeah.
Bunch of ideas, and then everybody goes out and buys one big gift, and they do it like a white elephant, where everybody, chooses which gift they want, and that's what they get is one gift.
Interesting.
So you're still doing something, but you know,
Right.
my thought years ago was, how do you take the stress out of this? So my suggestion to my family was, why don't we just concentrate on the kids and we just don't worry about the adults? And then my sister was like, well, you know, we got to do something. So she came up with the white elephant idea, and it's a blast. You know, we all laugh and have a good time. It's not about what you're getting, obviously. It's who can come up with the best idea or whatever, man. It's just the time together, and the amount of times we've laughed doing that is far better than having to go out and stress about buying a gift for somebody that already has money and a job. And that was my whole point. We can buy whatever we want. If I want something, I go out and buy it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's the biggest thing. Like Jake, like, what do you guys want? I'm like, dude, I don't want anything. Help me hang Christmas lights.
Yeah.
I need to get you something, Dad. I'm like, I don't need anything. Help me hang Christmas lights.
Yep.
Because I got the kind, the kind that you see, the massive, like really badass ones that are permanent. You have like 1.6 million different variations to them.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So I had a couple people come out and give me quotes for that shit because that's badass, right? Like I have little LED ones up right now that just have their standard little, 15 different colors, and you can make them do the 4 or 5 different boring things. But so the second guy that came out, he wanted $5 to $7 grand. $5 grand to do just the front of the house, $7 grand to wrap the house. And I'm like,
jeez,
exactly my point. So what did I do?
Holy shit. That's crazy.
I went on Amazon. So note this, boys and girls, you don't have to pay $5 to $12 grand to have Christmas lights hung, because this is what they use.
Okay, he's holding up a box of what for the ladies and gentlemen that are listening at home?
ASAHOM. Asahome. Permanent outdoor lights. They're windproof, waterproof, snowproof, and sunproof. Now, the cool thing about it, when they come out and talk and they give you your spiel, they measure everything for you. So that's the key. You want them to come out and measure for you, because I needed 200 linear feet.
So they did provide a good service.
This box is 200. I told them afterwards. This box is 200 linear feet. Now they in their appointment. We're gonna jump it from the eaves because you don't want the lights running up from the roof to the eaves, right? Well, they have those in the box. You have a dozen of those, so you can do the jump extensions. And they actually have the control box itself, and they're making it out. Oh, we have this control panel. We stick it in the garage to dedicated outlet. It's all accessible on your phone. He's acting like this $600 package, they're charging $4,400 to install it.
Here's my thought on what you just said.
Yes.
He's narrating from the box that you just read, right? He memorized the box.
Oh yeah. And
got to give him credit for that, because some people aren't going to go through the. Some people aren't. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Mama Kay's calling us.
Uh-oh.
Some people aren't going to go through the effort that you did to say, hey, what would this cost on Amazon?
Right. $600. Yep. That's it. And then, so again, and Jessica, who I was talking to, we were sitting in her backyard, and I said, like, cause she's so extreme when it comes to crystals. So I'm like, why don't you have the permanent lights up? And so she starts to tell me the story that they came out and gave her an estimate of 12 grand. I'm like, oh. And so I told her the story, and I took a picture of the box the next day, sent it to her. I said, this is what you buy. Have somebody else come out, give you an estimate so you have all the linear footage you need. And her husband, Ian, is one of those dudes that can fucking do anything, like fix anything. Like, it doesn't matter what it is. He's just like, he can do it. Like, he's really cool. Like, he drives a truck. He's a truck driver. But he's so fucking cool that when little man was about, 2.5, 3, Ian messaged me. He said, hey, man, my rig's going to be at the house this weekend. I'm like, sweet, because little man loved trucks. So he and I went to the cul-de-sac where they live. I got him out of his car seat, and we're across the cul-de-sac from Ian's house. And little man, 2.5, 3 years old, the look on his face was just like, holy shit, there's this monster 18-wheeler tractor trailer standing right in front of me. And Ian, such a nice guy, little man go into the cab. He put the headsets on and let him push all the buttons and shit. I mean, it was really cool. Like, he legit let little man experience everything about a big rig. The only catch was we couldn't get him in the back because he had a load, because that would have been just, running around in the back of a semi-truck, the big tractor trailer part of it. But it was super cool. But that's the thing. So he had it there because he was fixing the brakes on the thing. Like, that's why he was sitting out front of the cul-de-sac in a neighborhood that doesn't allow that. Like literally doing his brakes, and this whole thing took up, 2.5 house front yards because it was so big.
That's awesome. He got to experience that though.
Yeah. Yeah. He's cool like that. He's a cool guy. And then
Little kids don't forget shit like that.
No. And we have an acquaintance who's a firefighter. So every now and then he's probably been there 4 or 5 times in his life. When it cools off, goes to his fire station, hangs out, and, eventually we'll get Trip out there. Trip's only 18 months though right now. So this summer, maybe we'll get Trip out so he can check. But I don't know if Trip's going to like trucks like little man does. Well, different personalities,
Well, and I think you got to get to a certain age where you can appreciate it,
Yeah. Yeah.
You get above 5, you start to understand what things are, and then you have an appreciation for, like, in his case, just how big it is. To you, it's not that big, but to him, that thing's massive.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's kind of like, yeah.
Nothing impressed upon me more than when I moved back home and how small everything was. I'm like, I used to think that these distances were huge.
Yeah.
It's because you were small,
Yeah. Yeah. I have a picture on the photo wall with little man next to, I think it was his second time going to the fire station. And he comes up to maybe, I'm looking at it right now, maybe 3/4 of the wheel well. And he's doing one of these things, like he's got his hands back like he's flying, because it's just this massive thing. And he's like,
yeah. So now imagine how that looks to him, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's one thing I learned when I was coaching my kids when they were smaller. I'd always get down to their level. I would never look down when I coached them. I would drop. So I'm eye level.
Right.
Which I don't think a lot of people grasp that concept. If you're coaching little kids or teaching little kids anything, drop to their level so they're not looking up at you, because that's very intimidating. I always thought.
Yes.
So I would basically drop into a catcher stance and just look right in the eyes. And when I would do the post game talk after everything we did in baseball and football with him, I would freaking sit on the ground with the kids. All the parents are hovering, and here I am sitting. That's crisscross applesauce, like coach.
Yeah, you're right. It's way less intimidating if you're looking them in the eyes.
Yeah, and then it just shows. It's one of those things about talking and listening. It shows the little kid that because you're looking right at them, that you're listening to them as they speak.
Absolutely,
that gives their words value. Even if you can't understand the fucking word they say, because some little kids don't know how to talk yet. Huh? What? Yeah. Okay. So when I played Santa Claus, the kids didn't know what they wanted, so I'd like, well, you just tell your mom and dad you want a Porsche 911. Is that good? That's a really good present. One girl didn't know what she wanted. I was like, how about a Barbie dream house?
BMW.
Right? One kid wanted a car to drive around his backyard. I was like, one of those electric cars, huh? He's like, yeah. I said, well, how about a John Deere replica tractor? He's like,
house in Malibu.
Right? So I would give them ideas, and I would tell the parents, hey, by the way, you're on the hook now, because if you don't do this, you just made Santa fucking a liar. So you better stand up and do it. Nikki's like, you can't do that. I'm like, well, I already did it. I did it. So, there's that. So what do you got going on for the weekend?
I'm on vacation until January 6th, thank God.
Right. So
waiting for it to warm up.
Yeah. What is it? You know what it was here yesterday? December 19th in Arizona. Do you want to guess? 82 degrees.
I would have said 80.
82. Yeah. Well, that was the day before. The day that I dropped that video on the page about
fucker.
December in Arizona. Yeah. And that's true though, man. It's so fucking true. You get up and it's fucking cold. Like there's days this week where little man, I go get him. I'm in a blanket going back to the addition, grab him. It's like, when we leave at 7:45, it's 38 degrees, man. I'm like, what the fuck is this? By 10 o'clock, it's It keeps creeping. By 4 o'clock, it's like you're outside sweating your ass off. I did the jingle
That
run.
is a true story.
Yeah,
I lived it for, 18 years?
Yeah, so I did the jingle run at Little Man's School Thursday morning, 10 o'clock. I put shorts on. I'm like, it's going to be cold, so I put shorts on. Uh-oh.
There's some podcasters.
Thank you very much.
Hey, betcha.
Hey, Steele's
that?
live on the podcast here.
Who's that?
That's my dad.
Well, put your dad down here. Tell your dad to come down.
Chris says you got to say hello.
Yeah, come on, Steele.
Hey, Chris.
Hey.
How's the weather out there?
It's 80 degrees, man.
He said it's 80 degrees.
Yeah, that's what I like.
He says that's what I like.
I heard him. How could you not like that? What is it, 7 there?
Hey, you guys, that's for tonight.
Not yet, but I'll text you if I do. We need a winner.
I'm going over on the Cincinnati-Dayton game.
Okay. I'll look at that one.
See you later.
All right. Thank you.
Did he bring you fruitcake?
No, he brought me chili from Mama Kay.
Okay. We got
Sorry, ladies and gentlemen,
No.
but I will always
Don't be sorry.
honor chili from the Mama Kay, and everybody got to get a shout out from Steele there.
Yeah, that was cool.
Oh yeah,
That's cool. You should have sat his ass down.
I don't have it set up yet.
That would have been fun. Talking to
Oh.
Steele.
So there you go. You asked
Yeah.
me what I was doing.
Yeah, you're gonna eat chili and gamble on football. Shocking.
Well, no, I don't think there's any football tonight, but
No.
I've been promising everybody, and one of the constructive criticisms from Mama Kay is I can't see your face.
Whose face?
My face.
Oh.
I can see Chris's face, and then I hear it from some of our regular listeners. Like that was one of Bobby's complaints. I want to see your face. You got a
There you
nice
go.
face.
How about that? Mama Kay, look at my face now at the 57-minute, 9-second second. 57 minutes and 9 seconds. You see my face, Mama Kay? See it?
So we're going to finish the table. We're going to put in some additional lighting in the studio. I think I've made it very clear through many episodes that this is all temporary, right?
Right.
So
Yep.
we're making improvements over that time.
Yeah. Make the changes, turn and face the change.
So-
Changes.
After
There.
we get those done,
Yeah.
hopefully
Well, you know what you could
we'll
get?
get some music done.
You know what you can get that would help illuminate you is one of these.
I have one, but I hate white light. need
It's
one
not
like-
white, dude. It's not
I know
white.
yours
It's
changes.
blue.
Mine
It's
doesn't
blue.
change. I know.
It's blue. Oh,
I know.
okay.
I see yours is blue.
It's blue, and then
Mine's white.
now it's green.
That's why it was so fucking cheap. I was wondering why it was so cheap. It's because it doesn't change like yours does.
Purple. Blue again. Purple. Red. I fell into a burning ring of fire. Oh, and then it's going to start doing all the colors, all the different colors of the rainbow. We'll just put it right here. You guys can watch it as it goes. Is it doing it? It's just the one. Come on, man.
And it hasn't changed yet.
There you go. So it's spinning, right? Is it spinning? There you go. All the different colors. The colors, man. Colors.
Mine changes too, but I just like the yellow or orange. I guess mine's orange. It looks yellow on here on the screen, but it's actually orange.
All right. See how it cycles through? Purple
Yeah.
and blue. And
Well, that's why mine was $7.95 from one of them cheap ass on a slow boat from China sites.
right, Timu?
I know something like it though. Yeah, I can't remember.
It's pretty cool watching it in the reflection of my computer desktop because our background's black. I can see the colors it changes, but when I'm just sitting here talking to you, I can't really see what this is doing. But when I look up there, I can see it. It's all the different colors. But yeah, so I
Yeah.
have that. And then when if you lift your hat up, I've noticed that. I just noticed that, and when I was being silly, because my hat shoes like that, and then I went like that from Mama K. Then I did this. I'm like, oh, there's my face. Hello.
Yeah.
Hello. Is it me you're looking for?
I'm just happy that people are listening and they have constructive criticism. If nobody's
Right.
listening, there would be no constructive criticism. So
There would be no constructive criticism.
basically, I just tell everybody the same thing. You got to start somewhere. And we started way back at the beginning. I actually just watched the beginning episode for about 5 minutes, and I was like, "Whew, yeah, that's rough."
Well, to our credit, that was 1964, and technology really wasn't where it's at now. And
It was
because of
just
that, you know.
It was an example of what I just said, though. We started somewhere, right? We didn't have any lighting at the time. We didn't have anything. We just had a couple microphones and a computer, and that was about it. So,
and because that journey started where it is, we were in the 2 years of this is the second year, but the first year of doing it, we were #1 podcast in Phoenix
on several occasions, yes,
right, for whatever our category was, they chose us, and then we top 15% of Spotify video podcasts, which is cool. Which tells you people like looking at our faces.
Yes.
You know, and we're not just talking bobbleheads, you know, which is cool. You know, so, you know, all kinds of things work to our advantage. So
they could be just tuning in for Bob Ross. Right there.
I think that's the big part. It's Bob Ross and it's the lava lamp because, you know, I can't wait to debut the Christmas one of the Christmas gifts that Santa's getting Nikki and I after the Christmas show, after the Christmas day. I'm super excited about that one, even though I know
too.
what it is.
I know what it is.
Yeah, I know. I'm fucking pumped. Like that's gonna be the coolest thing.
I'm gonna have to follow suit and do that for myself because I gotta have that in the studio here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know where it'll be displayed, but I'm super excited about it. I may have to just bust out and then go do an individual one, and I thought about doing for Tripp and Anthony and stuff, but they're too little. You know, gotta get you know, because they would break them if they played with them, and that's not a good thing. So. Not on purpose, but Tripp throws shit, man. Tripp's got a little arm on him that he loves balls, and he like legit throws shit, and he's that little destructive, like little man. I got little man Minecraft blocks, and they're magnet. So there's stem, which is something to do with school. So it doesn't matter how you build it; they stay together. So he's been building Minecraft with these blocks. Doesn't want to play Minecraft video game because he's not a video game wannabe. He's like he wants to touch, feel. So he'll build something, and Tripp comes over for whatever reason, and Anthony's building something, and Tripp will just bulldoze it, just knock it off the counter. It's like, what the fuck, man? So I let him take him home one day, and then they came back the next day because Tripp won't let him build anything. Because you know he's like a little bowling ball. He just goes through and
he's a true little brother.
Oh, big time! Yeah, big time. You know, it's funny. That's funny. But,
it's funny that you have that. I mean, I had, and they'll have it. You have that relationship if you have a little brother where they're a complete pain in their ass, or a complete pain in your ass,
right?
Until you grow up, and then like they're your best friend. You know?
Yeah, for the most part, not in my life.
I got lucky that way. Where you know.
Yeah.
Like that day I called my brother. Like it was 45 seconds. He called me back. What do you need?
Yeah. See, I don't have that. I don't, you know, that's not one of those woe is me things because it is what it is, but I don't have the ability, nor does Nikki anything. It's like our family is Nikki, myself, Sky and Jake, Tripp and Little Man, and soon to be Michael Fry Jr., you know?
Yeah, I guess I should have said I hope they have that relationship because there's no guarantees in life, you know?
No, well,
but
I just
being born into your family, I would say they have a good chance of being best friends.
Well, with this part anyway, yes. With my immediate, is that what you call your immediate? Because it's not.
Yes.
The outer layers don't really.
You,
exist
Nikki,
anymore. Jake,
and Skylar are your immediate family.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So, our immediate family is strong and devoted, and to each other, and you don't fuck with the Dunhams, this clan part anyway, because we had this asshole one time that he came by. I was working, window was open. He was honking his horn. Honked his horn, and I was on the phone. The guy heard the noise. So when you're talking and somebody honks their horn loud enough, then the person on the other line stops talking, and I'm like, I'm sorry. Somebody's out front honking. Beep, beep, beep. I'm like, I'm sorry. Beep, beep. I'm like, okay. I'm going to call you right back. So I got out the garage service door, and the garage door's open, and I'm just kind of walking towards the truck with my arms, out, extended, like, what are you doing, man? And he kind of looks at me. He's like, what? And I walked to him. I was like, why are you honking your horn? I'm like, I'm working. Like, I work from home some days. I'm like, you're honking your horn. I'm on the phone. It's distracting. So he honks his horn again. He's that guy. So I give him
asshole.
I give him the Freebird salute, right?
Yes.
Number one. And then he yells at me, and I turn around, and I'm walking back to my house, still giving him the salute. Walk back in the house and shut the window then, because like this dude's just going to be an ass. Does it a couple more times. So then, because I didn't jump on his baiting me, of trying to get into a whatever argument, whatever the fuck. He's one of those Karens in the neighborhood. So then every time he comes by the house, regardless of the time of day, he lays on his horn. So if it's 8 o'clock in the morning or 1 a.m., he'll lay on the horn. No regard for the people across the street who are assholes anyway. People to the east who are pricks anyway. But still, you're driving past my house and you're honking the horn. So finally, Skylar being Skylar, which is one of the things I love about her, something happened to where one of his people that live at his house was like blasting by and honked the horn and shit, just fucking pissed her off. So she followed him home and fucking got out of the vehicle and railed him, just laid into him. He was talking shit about me. It's like, you don't know my fucking dad. My dad's a nice person. Lots of people like him. You're an asshole. You started it by doing da-da-da-da. Dude has not driven by my house and made a sound ever since. He's driven by the house because I see him. And then he lied. He made some bullshit and she called him out on that lie. And legit, maybe 2 weeks or maybe 3 weeks ago or something, I was walking back from mailbox that's across the street. And here he comes up and he waves to me and I just look at him. I'm like, I'm not, dude, like you're a dick. I'm not going to be your friend. I don't have time for your shit. You're an asshole. Move along so I can go to my house. Like, he never apologized for what he did. He was just a dick. And I was nice when I went out there. I'm like, dude, like when you have open space, like we do, shit carries. Like we can hear the fucking cow from probably 3 miles away when they're weaning cows because there's nothing to hold the space in because we all have acres to 5 acre lots. So it's just, the noises carry. There's 2 blocks away. There's these 2 dogs that are always outside. They're outdoor dogs, which is kind of stupid, but they are. You can hear them barking. When somebody walks by that land, man, people fucking, the dogs just light up. But that's the thing. You can hear that shit. So don't act like your honking your horn is not going to disrupt everybody around you because it is. He's also got his entire house is like a giant block to where one of the people that lived behind him. She's no longer with us, but she would come over and just cuss him out because it was the ugliest freaking house you could imagine, which it is. It's basically you take a single level house and you build a rectangle structure at the end of it. It's the dumbest thing ever. It's like there's no, and that's one of the catches with living in a neighborhood like this. You can do whatever you want as long as you have permits. But it's just it's stupid. It's the ugliest structure that you can imagine in a residential neighborhood. It's a giant square rectangle. It's like, okay, to each his own, man.
There's some oddballs out there.
There are. All right, I want to wrap this up so you can go eat some chili.
Sure.
Yeah. Nikki's been coming around the corner. I think she wants to do something. She got home early today, last day of school.
Very nice.
Yeah. I had dinner going in the crock pot, so I'm all prepared. She's like, what do you want to do? I was like, well, I got this. And she's like, when you do that. I'm like, oh, okay. I didn't realize we had to do all that. But
I knew that feeling yesterday. I was very happy to be done.
Yeah. Well, I see, to me, I'm with you. Like I already got her what I'm getting her. She already got me what she's getting me because I saw it.
Yeah, but she's a woman and they got different things they got to do at Christmas time than we do.
Right. But like we already got Jake something that was equivalent to what we got Sky and Michael Fry Jr. So it's like, really, what do we have to do? Like we already made it a point not to go nuts with the grandkids. So it's like, really, what do we got to do?
I'm sure there's something.
Yeah, we're going to go find out. So there you go.
All right, brother.
Yeah. You going over to parents' house tonight or no? You just gonna hang out, eat the chili at home?
Oh, no, he brought it over here. I think they had it last night. That's usually when I get it, when they have...
You get the leftovers.
Yeah, they're done with it, and that's fine.
Yeah.
I didn't have anything thought out for dinner, so there you have it. Mama K's chili.
There you have it. All right,
it's
cool.
the best chili on the planet.
Right on. I'll poke at you, see what's going on next week. We'll do some shows randomly, random spots.
All right. Yeah, I know Tuesday's Christmas Eve, so we'll probably have to shift it around or something.
Yeah, probably. But we'll worry about that later. We're set, I think, right?
Yeah, I'm free every day till January 5th or 6th.
Yeah. So we're good. We'll figure it out, schedule. I'll be home, and Nikki's home. And usually when Nikki's off, I don't work very much because, I like hanging out with her.
I don't blame you.
Yeah, I still do shit, but not to the level that I normally do. So, all right, man. Well, have a great day. Tell everybody there I said hello.
Yeah, and because this one won't air until after Christmas, I hope everybody has a Merry Christmas out there. Thanks for listening all year. We appreciate you guys.
Yeah.
Keep spreading the word, and we'll keep bringing you podcasts.
And don't let the bad days win. And be mindful, kids. Aliens are with us. They're around. Especially you that live in the farm country. Crop circles, man. That's them coming over, just fucking with you.
We're going to have
That's
to
all
go
right.
down a whole conspiracy
We will.
rabbit hole.
Yeah, we will.
We'll have Steele over for that one.
Yes, please. Let's get Steele on the show. Anybody named Steele, we need to have on the show.
Oh, yeah.
You know.
He's
That's
got
awesome.
stories for days, man.
Yeah, no, that's good. I like
And he
stories.
remembers them all. So.
I'm trying to get a friend of mine named Shantae. I sold her house years ago. Single mom during the post crash, and nobody wanted to work with her because she didn't want to spend any real money, you know, and in normal terms, I guess. Fourth realtor she found was me, and I hooked her up, took care of her, got her, you know. Anyway, so I'm her champion. So she's an airline stewardess now, and I'm like, you got to come on the show. Just your stories of travel alone would be cool to share. Well,
Absolutely.
You know, I'm introverted. I'm like, Shantae, it's me. Like, I'm going to throw you softballs. You're just going to tell us stories. Like, it'll be fun.
Yeah.
She posted something yesterday, like 7 different airports flying without luggage because I don't know what happened, but it just doesn't have luggage. For 7 different airports she's gone in and out of. She posted something about how Rockefeller Center is something you have to do during Christmas. Like, you just have to do it. So shit like that would be cool from her point of view, because she's traveled all over the world, and then she'll get layovers and shit. So I watch her on Facebook. Some of the places she goes is amazing. So
That's
that would be
awesome.
someone cool to just like, okay, what's the greatest place? Where do you gotta go? Where do you not have to go? What's the most overhyped, the most underhyped? You know, shit like that would be cool. So
Yes.
I gotta rally her down. I mean, with holidays and shit, everybody's like, oh, I can't do it right now. That's fine. We'll take all this. We'll get all this dialed in after the first of the year. We'll start lining up some people, regular stuff. So don't let the bad days win. 988 Google, text, call, whatever. We can talk. A couple of shows from now, we'll talk about that. The darkness that I sent you. It's you'll like how that came about. It's pretty interesting. It's that was heavy. That was a really heavy and dark. And I
Can't
wrote
wait
that.
to hear it.
I wrote that like just as a teaser, boys and girls. I wrote a song called "The Darkness" that I penned immediately after going through one of my therapy sessions. That I went for something completely different. We went down that rabbit hole, and I mean, maybe 2 minutes took me to write that. So,
That's a killer song, too.
Thank you. Yeah, it's kind of like what we used to do. It's deep rooted, personal. You know, it's life experience is how I write, and that's what I write about, and which is why it connects with people. So,
Yeah, I always read your lyrics the first time real quick, and then
Yeah.
I take my time reading them the second time, and I really took my time the second time. That's how I knew I liked it so much.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, boys and girls. Like Mike said, we hope you all have a great, safe, and happy holiday season. Whether you're, celebrate Christmas, Kwanzaa, Festivus. If you're Jewish, because Jewish people don't celebrate Christmas. I forget what they celebrate. Fellowship with family and friends is the way to go. Don't drink and drive. Don't be stupid. Don't be that person that turns your holiday season into tragedy. Somebody loves you. Somebody needs you. Wake up the next day. You'll feel better than you do this day.
I was going to say the same thing. Don't let your personal or religious beliefs ruin time with people that you love. Just leave
Or-
that shit out of it.
Yeah. Or your political views. Okay.
All
Just-
that. Just enjoy the fact
Yeah.
that there's people that love you, and that you're going to have hopefully good food and good company, and
Yeah.
try and leave that out of it. Everybody's got their own right to believe whatever they want, but
Yep.
people that love you in your life, they don't come by easily. So
No.
enjoy that time with them.
Agreed. And if you're like me and you just have an immediate family, embrace that. Don't
Absolutely.
don't dwell on the fact that you don't have the outer limits, the outer edges of your family. Focus on what you do have and make the most of that. Because we've been like this for years, and it's nothing that ever brings me down because we have each other, and that's all that matters.
Amen.
Amen, brother. Peace out, people. See you soon.
Peace.
Peace.